I told you I'm reading from a book called All Saints, and not all of the people listed are actually officially classified as saints. But St. Paul talked about all of us as saints, that every one of us are, by our very nature, pulling towards sainthood. And that the communion of saints is a communion of us with all people, both those gone and those here. One of those people I'd like to connect with today is a guy I know the name of, Leo Tolstoy, famous Russian author. He wrote War and Peace and Anna Karenina. As he started out as a young man, he was born into a wealthy family in Russia. He is actually called a count, whatever a count is in Russia. And he had a life of kind of squandering. He lived a good life. He enjoyed all the pleasures that you could enjoy as a young man. Went off to military and then came back and settled down and married a gal. What's her name? Name is Sonia. And they lived on the family estate. And that's where he started his writing. He wrote War and Peace and Anna Karenina. And from there, he gained incredible fame. And he just did so well. And yet, in spite of being successful, he felt like something was missing. And he had given up his faith as a young man and totally abandoned it. And now, as he is in searching for it, he comes back to his faith in a very strict Orthodox session and just says, yes, I got to jump onto this. This changes his writing. This changes his relationships with everyone. It changed his wife, who has helped him write his books, and his birthed his 13 children. Even his wife can't quite see going to this extreme. He sees the church as being way too concerned with just the main principles of orthodoxy and doctrine and rules and rituals. He said, we're missing the main part of going after Christ. Imagine that. Well, the church of his time imagined it, and they excommunicated him. They kicked him out. And he had this sense that all the people that had good levels of income, that were on the upper side of things, were basically miserable because they were tempted by egotism to serve themselves, and they never felt happy about it. He noticed that the working class never suffered from this. And so he took it on himself to set up all his estate, giving it to his children, gave away the rights to all his writings, and he went and worked hours every day to earn his bread because he felt like there was some connection to working hard and earning just enough to support oneself. And so he goes on and he does that. And he wrestles continually in a search for God. He sees the fact that the teachings of Jesus are in the Beatitudes. The teachings of Jesus are in the concept of the kingdom of God. And he's filled with such a yearning and such a wanting that he struggles with this throughout the rest of his whole life. At the age of 82, he does a strange thing. He tells his wife, I'm doing what people of my age often do, giving up the world in order to spend my last days alone and in silence. And off he goes with his family physician. He's only gone 10, 12 days, and he gets sick at a train station in some remote town. He goes to the station master as he's sick, and the people realize who he is. And people from all over, journalists, everyone comes and sees him. And he dies on November 20th. But his last words were, to seek, always to seek. I wonder sometimes if we don't get a little I don't get a little too comfortable, and I don't try to seek myself. Seek the Lord my God. Seek him in the Gospels. Seek him in the people I encounter. I think I need to read that line one more time. His last words were, always to seek.